Hey, this is Riley with All Things Fish Keeping, and in today's video, I'm going to be covering a simple solution that could save you weeks or even months of frustration and work when it comes to algae blooms or bacteria blooms in your aquariums. If you've kept aquariums for some time, you may be aware that sometimes within the first few weeks of setting up a new tank, that you may have a bacteria bloom as the beneficial bacteria grows in the tank and gets established. Generally in these cases, these bacteria blooms will go away on their own within a fairly short time if you just continue to do normal maintenance and feed your fish an appropriate amount of food. But occasionally, as in my case, bacteria blooms can happen to aquariums that have been established for some time. So my hope in making this video is that it may benefit those of you who may be going through a bacteria bloom or other similar issues, especially with tanks that have been established for a while. For a fish keeper, a few things can be more frustrating than having a beautiful tank with fish that you enjoy and then having a bacteria bloom or an algae bloom cause clouded and dirty water that makes it hard to enjoy the fish and the setup that you've put work into. And that's exactly what happened to me. In my case, my aquarium developed a bacteria bloom that then progressed into an algae bloom, and at first I responded by trying to just make sure that I was feeding only once a day, doing regular maintenance, hoping that it would kind of clear up and the beneficial bacteria would overcome the issue and fix things. But as weeks dragged on, it seemed like that wasn't going to be the case. So I started to do water changes more frequently and with more volume. But each time the problem within a few days would come back and get just as bad as it was before. I progressed to the point where I ended up doing 100% water change. I drained the aquarium all the way down, took the fish out, put them into one bucket, took all the live plants out, put them into a separate bucket with my filter with the beneficial bacteria hopefully on there, and really just cleaned the tank very thoroughly after months of this issue, hoping that 100% water change would surely fix my issue with my aquarium. And then when that didn't work and a few days later the problem came back, I was dumbfounded, didn't know what to do, and this problem became very frustrating where I didn't know what the solution might be. And then I realized as I was looking over my equipment for my aquarium that a few months back I had made a very simple change to my setup that I wondered if that had caused my issue. And what that was, I had a small pump driving the filtration on my aquarium, and it's kind of a loud pump. It was kind of, it would rattle and make noises and kind of was irritating. So what I did is I switched it out for a smaller pump that I had just lying around for a smaller tank, and that seemed to do the trick, and it was quiet and made it more enjoyable. And then shortly after that, this issue began to occur, and initially I didn't make that connection of that might be the issue, that the filtration change. And although it's such a simple fundamental thing, it just goes to show that simple things like that can sometimes lead to really big effects in our aquariums. What I ended up doing is buying a new, more powerful pump that was more quiet, and I installed that in my aquarium and then did a big water change again, and within just a few days the aquarium started to clear up and eventually got to the point where it was nice and clear and it backed the way that it was before. It seems like the longer you've been in the hobby, the easier it is to take things for granted and get more comfortable with things that you do and more confident in your abilities as a fish keeper. And if anyone's gone through this issue or is going through this issue, that's something that I'd say is just try to make sure you evaluate the basics, look at your filtration, look at your maintenance schedule, and just evaluate that you have those basics in line, and in my case, and hopefully in yours, it'll go a long way to make sure that you avoid some of those issues or correct those issues if you're experiencing them now. I hope this video has been helpful for you. If it has, please take the time to hit that like button and subscribe if you'd like to see more future content like this and other videos as it relates to all things fish keeping. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you on the next one.